So, hello again. Let's start off where we left last time. So, last time I was playing the Journey 4 deck, my kind of landfall deck with the Aftermath Analyst, and then bringing back some of the heavy hitters in the later games. Um, let's see. I still have a little time today, so let's try deck number 5. Deck number 5 is a little bit of I can't really call it pure aggro because it's not, but it's a little bit all over the place. But it does have a decent amount of removal. It has some small features that pop up every once in a while that can grow bigger. And then of course you have the Antrac that can really hit hard if it gets through, but it rarely does, to be honest. But still, it's a fun deck. I'm pretty okay with this. It's one that usually takes me to gold as well. Same with my fourth deck. Those are the two decks that have brought me to gold the last few times. So it's number 5 in the row. Number 6 is up later. So let's see what we can do with number 5. As you can see, my quests are still gone. I'm still at the same amount of gold as last session. So I haven't done anything yet. We still have these rewards. So let's try and see what we can do. I can either just try and climb the ladder a little bit more, or I could just play best of one or something like that and see what we can do in deck building. But I actually prefer, as long as I'm playing the decks that I already have, I just prefer playing ranked, and if I lose a rank, then I'll just regain it later. But if I'm playing something like a new deck that I'm still working on, if I'm testing it, I'll usually play non-ranked games. And that way I get to see what the deck does, how it interacts. And okay, you'll see less meta, but on the other hand, you get to test your decks the way you want to test them. So, what are we seeing here? 2 lands, but nothing I can play the first 2 turns. This is a little bit better. So, I have 1 removal spell. I want to keep that. I would like to try going for the Antrac, but I think that's a bad idea. So let's keep this one and put the Antrac back for now. So playing this one first, just to get it out of the way. That way next turn I'll have 2 mana. I can put in the Mosswood. And depending on what my opponent does, oh, there we go. Antrac is back. Let's put a threat down on the table. So here I would sometimes go for the sorcery part. Sometimes I would go for the creature part. Depends a little bit. He's playing blue, so any creature I can get down before he can start countering it is welcome. So let's see what he does now. Alright. That was okay. I can live with that. So we're going to do exactly the same as we did last turn, but we're just going to put in 1 more creature. And then we'll do this. Out of play. I could have kept the mana open here, but I really want a creature down on the field right now. Even if it's a small one, it will start the clock on him. And blue players don't really like a clock. Okay, that's interesting. He's tapped out pretty much. Let's put this one down. See what he does next turn. It's a risk. I might lose it, but on the other hand, if I draw into a land, I can do Reckless and Mosswood. If I don't draw into a land, we can do something else. All right. There went 1 card. Okay. That's okay. He's tapped out now. That's interesting. So, being tapped out, let's put some pressure on again. I'm going to boost this one. So, as long as he's tapped out, I can pretty much play things. I'm not sure if he's even going to play counter spells. He does have the colors for them, but we'll see what shows up. I have the mana to cover any spell that I have in my deck, so I don't have to worry about that anymore. And as for the Charming Scoundrel, it can either provide me with a card draw, a boost for one of my creatures, or just extra mana, but I don't really need the mana now. Brotherhood's End is interesting. And depending on what he does, I might actually consider playing it on his Realmbreaker. That's interesting. So he is... Ooh, nice. There comes my goblin. So, what to do? Yeah, I don't really mind him milling me right now. So, let's give him... It doesn't really matter what I remove because there isn't much in here that can bring it back. But the extra creatures does put pressure on him. Depending on what he does now. Oh, there we go. Interesting. This might just be game. Let's see what we can do. He's almost tapped out. We have a solution for his Sheldred. Let's use it. We can put this one in here as well. So we're at 6, 7, 8. Let's see, I'm going to put a Wicked Token on something. Let's put it on my Squee. Let's attack with everything. So he's at 2 now. Let's see if he has a solution. Alright. It's 1 card. But what is he planning right now? Okay. That just cost him a life. That's an extra blocker, yes. What he doesn't know is... Okay. So that was it. Didn't really get into trouble with this deck. It's a deck that has a pretty decent win rate. I'm not gonna say that it's the best deck out there, definitely not, but it does what it's supposed to do. It keeps the board pretty much clear for me so that I can use my low to the ground hitters to just get through. Let's see what we're up against now. Oh, I have the mana that I need. I have a little bit of life gain. Yes, we're definitely going to keep this one. So let's put in this one first. That way our color is fixed. Next turn is probably going to be the Swamp into Scoundrel or Sheldred. It's definitely going to be the Scoundrel. Yes, like I said, Swamp. Scoundrel. We don't really need anything, so let's just pump it a little bit. And let's hit for 2. Next turn we can choose either the Mountain or the Death Cap. Yeah, that's what I expected. But it still costs you a life, my friend. There we go. Now you're probably gonna burn my Squee, but let's try it anyway. No burn. Interesting. So we're pushing mono red. Okay. That's interesting. So we're getting too much land right now. Let's get another green one. I have enough red. Let's get rid of his goblin. I have 2. He's at 3 now. That means he needs to get at least 2 more cards in the graveyard before he can bring it back. That's not great, but it's better this way, I think. Oh, there we go. That was it. I think I had the advantage here by being the starting player. Um, that was a fast game. So let's go to the last deck, deck number 6. So deck number 6 is green and white. Audacity for card draw. Basically, I pump some cards with it. I get some extra card draw. Spirited Companion, also providing me with the card draw I need. And because a lot of creatures are going to have more power than their base power, well, I get card draw from this as well. So these 10 cards, they just add consistency to the deck. Then we have here Weaver of Harmony, boosting some of my enchantment creatures, but also giving me extra access to activated and triggered abilities, which is really nice. A little bit of removal. This deck is probably the deck with the least removal of all my decks at the moment, but still, having it is nice. Another boost card. This one is really, really nice. It's a card that I've enjoyed playing. I'm sorry to see it go. Most of the cards in this deck are gonna go, so I'm sad to see that. Kami of the Transients. It's a really nice card. Interacts really nicely also with Botanical, and then with any enchantment coming into play, of course, pumps it. Jukai for a little bit of making my enchantments cheaper, but also getting me access to a little bit of lifelink, which comes in handy when you're up against mono red. Calyx is a card that I really like. I really hope to build something around him when the rotation comes. I have a few ideas in mind, and I'm gonna experiment with him. I'm just not sure how to put him in there yet. And then, of course, Sarah Paragon, which basically brings back everything else. As you can see, everything here is 1, 2, and 3 mana, and I can bring back everything with her. So even if I go up against decks with a lot of removal late game, I can put her in and I can bring it all back. So that's something that's really nice. It works regularly, but it does have its weaknesses. Let's see what you can do with it tonight. So just gonna find a match. We're gonna stay in ranked. And we're gonna go to the 6th and final deck that I have right now. So depending on my mood or what I feel like, I might change one of the decks during the day whenever I play and then see what shows up. I'm pretty curious to see what's going to happen here. Okay, so I have some boost, I have some early game, I have a land that can provide me with another land pretty early. So let's just keep it. I can play everything in my hand, and putting this one down early game doesn't really matter. I could have taken one of the other lands as well that maybe gained me a life or something, but for some reason I chose Evolving Wilds here. Let's just activate it. Now we're one creature behind. I'm already seeing white humans, so I have an idea of what might be coming. But let's see what he plays. Oh, red. Didn't expect that. Oh, there we go. There we go. Yeah. Let's start with Botanical Brawler. Let's see if I can keep him on the field for a turn. I'm not going to block. Don't worry about it. Yes, there we go. So I couldn't keep it on the field. Alright, I can live with that. Yeah, that was expected. Let's see, I have 2 of him, so I might as well play him. Gonna pump him a little bit. Now what are you gonna do, my friend? Let's see what happens. Okay. Gleeful Demolitions. I love goblins. So let's see what he comes up with now. He's got 1 might mana. That means he's behind on his land drop right now. There we go. I was expecting him. Yep. Okay. So we are in a little bit of a pickle. But that's okay. I can live with that. It's not much of a boost, but it's going to help a little bit. Mm-hmm. I'm gonna pump my Calyx. And I'm gonna pump him again. That makes it a 6. Let's see if he's willing to sacrifice something. No, he's not. Good. Because then I get to do this. So I didn't cast the spell, so that's why Gami didn't get an extra counter on it. But still, okay, now that changes the things a little bit. This is gonna hurt. This is gonna hurt. So I think he just got me 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 13, one blocker. So yeah, that's a painful move. But he's tapped out. Yeah, we can do that. I'm gonna put another one on him. That's 12. I'm gonna play him, yes, but I wanna keep him. And then all attack and good game. So we got a little bit lucky there. He was definitely overpowering me, but that's the luxury of enchantment decks. They do offer you an option to sometimes go a little bit over the top. A 14/14 creature is always nice to have. So let's try another one. Oh, again up against. Let's see, what do we have here? So I can play almost everything in my hand except for the Calyx, but I do get some extra card draw, so let's keep this. It's blue, so that could be difficult. But let's see what he does. Yeah, he's probably keeping an counter open, but let's try it anyway. I've got 2 of them, and there's a good chance I can bring him back from the graveyard as well, so let's see if he counters it. No, he doesn't. Interesting. That wasn't expected, but okay, yeah. Let's see what happens here. Now, what is he gonna do? Alright, he's passing the turn, so that means... yeah, let's just do it. Let's go for it again. He might have another counter or creature removal. But I'm gonna push it anyway. We've got 2 audacities. I'm casting it, that means it goes on the stack. Okay. That's fine. That's not too bad. But it puts me out of range for a cut down, so that's nice. Let's see what he has in mind. We do have a 5/3 trampler now. And it could get a lot worse. I'm thinking next turn maybe Spirited Companion, and then maybe a second Audacity. That would give me access to a lot of card draw. Okay, there we go. This one goes, and then I get My 2 commies back. Nice. Take action. Take action. Okay. We can live with that. He still has a lot of... Let's see if he does it again. Nope, nothing. Good. Let's put down a second one. And then next turn we have a lot of enchantments we can play, so let's see what happens. So we basically have all the mana we need now. Okay, that's one. You can take out the second one as well if you want. You don't? Okay. I'm fine with that. Yes. So, like I said, we have all the mana that we want. We don't really need it anymore. But what do I want to do is... I'm going to take a chance here. Let's see if he counters it. Because if he doesn't, it's going to hurt him. It's going to hurt him hard. So let's see what he does. Yes, that's nice. Good. I can put another one on here. Okay. And then let's put this one on the field. Now he's going to respond to one of them. Okay, he just counters it. Good. But I still get my boost, so that's down to 15. We're even again. Yep. Yeah, he's going to need some blockers now. And I don't mind, because we are going to hit pretty hard now if you can't remove them. So right now I'm going to boost Calyx as well. That's fine. I'm going to put this one down as well, giving me another boost. I'm going to pump him again, and then I can attack with both of them, providing me with a lot of power because... Yep, there we go. I still get to go through. I lost my creature, but that's okay. Take action. And then we end the turn. Take action. There we go. So I did lose my Calyx, which was too bad, but still, it didn't really make that much of a difference. I got my extra card draw. I got another Kami in my hand. I have the Michiko. And the Kami still had trample, so that was pretty nice. We're up at 1. So as you can see with the decks that I have right now, it's pretty easy to go up the golden ladder. It's once you get past that golden ladder that it gets a little more difficult. Like I said before, I really enjoy Journey 4 deck. And if you don't mind, I'm going to play it again. That's a deck I enjoy playing, and a lot of cards are going to go out with the rotation. I'm sorry to say. We're going to lose Vampire's Vengeance. We're going to lose that one. We're going to lose the Searchlands, which basically means this deck isn't going to be playable anymore in a few weeks. So just going to enjoy it as long as it lasts. Let's see if we can... Oh no, wait a minute. During the last movie, I made some changes to this deck. I put in Brotherhood's End. Let's see if that one works better with it in. We can do that. So even in gold, I still experiment a little bit with my decks, and I still look at what the options are. But most of all, I just try to have a nice, fun game. This is not a good hand. I have red, but very slow. No, we're not going to do that. Not much better, is it? But I'm going to keep it anyway. I would like to keep this one, but I don't have the red for it, so it doesn't really matter. Nothing comes into play tap, so that's nice. Okay, that's what we're up against. Yep. So we're up against mono red. Here it comes. Oh, wasn't expecting that one, but okay. I can live with that. Curious to see what he's going to discard. Mountain, okay. So, let's... yeah, let's keep that. It's a slow land, but it's okay. Let him have some fun with it. Resolve it. And let's use his own card against him. That's okay. So, he's gonna attack. I'm just gonna do this. With his own... Yeah, we can use life gain. We can use the life gain. Let's get rid of his other red creature as well. So let's see what he's planning. So this one does increase the amount of damage he can do, which is annoying. But let's see what else he has in store for us. Okay. I was not expecting that. Yeah, let's try this one first. It's toughness 4, so it's out of reach of most played burn spells. Usually you need 2 of them to deal with him. I'm not really sure what he's going to do about it. I'm kind of hoping he doesn't have anything against it. And then I can play Nizumi next turn into saddle and then hit him for 2 and then maybe discard 2 cards if we're lucky. But I'm not really sure what's going to happen. But even if he takes it out, I still get to scry 2, which is nice. Yeah, let's do this. That's another card I can use with Fortune Loyalty, so even if he takes out one of them, whether it's Nasumi or the Charming Scoundrel, I can use both of them. And they work really well with Loyalty, so... Okay. Let's make him discard first. Let's see what he does. Okay. Let's do it again. I'm gonna go for a treasure token here. Because if I can successfully saddle Charming Scoundrel, then I have 6 mana for next turn. And that would give me access to Carnosaur. So let's see what happens here. He is saddled. Yes, it works. Let's see what he's going to do. Submit this one. Bringing it all back. I get to scry, I get another treasure token like I was hoping, and done. Really nice. End the turn. So if everything goes according to plan, I'm going to play my Carnosaur next turn, Lightning Helix into my hand, and we're going to get a 4/3 body on the field as well, and getting him to discard a card, which is pretty solid, to be honest. If he attacks, we can block him. And I'm actually going to block him with Insumian Format because I have another discarder coming. So that's decent enough. He might have trample, but even if he does, I don't really care. Because I am hoping next turn to have a really solid turn. And to be quite honest, I'm going to try and use Carnosaur to saddle the Loyal Steed. Let's see what happens. So, Carnosaur onto the battlefield, autoplay. Let's see what happens. Because that gives us the hostile investigator. We're going to play him, definitely. He has to discard a card again, so that puts us in a pretty nice spot. We still have 2 instant speed removals. We don't have the mana this turn, but I don't necessarily need it this turn. Okay, that was a shock. Then we're going to saddle with... let's saddle with the Carnosaur, like I said I wanted. He's not able to block, so let's just attack with both of them, and let's see what happens. I get to have some fun with these two. Yeah, first I want to discover, and then I want to scry. So, yeah, let's put this one on the field, that's fine. We don't really need the card draw, so let's pump my Loyal Steed. Really nice. Let's just keep them on the field. Let's just keep them there. Extra removal, you never know when you might need it. So we're in a pretty okay spot right now. My plan is, if everything goes right, next turn, hostile investigator together with the Loyal Steed, and then just Carnosaur attacking. And he gave up. So yeah, we had a pretty solid position on the board. I think if the deck performed that like that every single time, then I would probably be way ahead in Platinum as well. But I'm sorry to say this deck doesn't really always perform like that. But we got another rare in there. We can still get a few rewards. So let's put in this one as well. All right. Okay. So, do I risk it or not? No. Even worse. Yeah, I'm gonna keep it. The chances of me having 2 red is gonna be very low. But I don't want to go down to 5. I am playing enough land to hit it quite soon. I know it's a risky hand right now, but I have a 2 mana removal here. I got a 2 mana removal here. 3 mana removal here, so with a little bit of luck, I should hit it. Let's see what happens. Red, white, and green. Okay, not really what I wanted. Yeah, let's just get rid of the token. We might be in a bit of a problem here. If it's what I think it is, then there's going to be an enchantment war. Yeah, okay. Alright, that's one more land. It's not the one I needed, but it is a land. And I could go for it. Or... no, let's do this first. So I could have used this one to get my red and then blow up one of these two. And this one would be a really interesting choice. But I think I have another turn to do that. Yeah. So he pulled 2 lands, which is pretty okay for us, I guess. Yeah. Mm-hmm. That was pretty much what I was expecting. So we don't have a choice this time. I really need my red, so let's go find it. He's probably going to go for plains here. If I had to make a guess. There we go. And I'm going to go for my mountain. Why are there so little mountains in the deck? That could be a mistake in my deck. Let's have a look later. I might have the mana balance off. Yeah, that I expected. That we expected. Please, some kind of land that gives me red. No. Okay. Let's see. We want to get rid of those creatures and we want to get rid of them fast. So we don't really have a choice but to do this. And then this one, he has to sacrifice his druid. And he doesn't have a creature right now. Now that could change pretty fast, but I'm hoping... yeah, well... you're welcome to hope, but okay, let's just do it again. Like they say, if at first you don't succeed, try again. Okay. He's pumping out resources. Yeah. Let's do this one first. Start to empty his hand a little bit. That was expected. Yeah, no, we just lost the game here. We don't really have a solution for anything. So, yeah, let's just say good game. And let's just give him the win. Let's just resolve it, my friend, and then go ahead and finish the game. There's not much I can do about that. Resolve all. What best I can do is just take out one of your creatures. But that's not going to be enough. So yeah. It's not a hard choice, my friend. Okay. So as you can see, sometimes we're unlucky, but I did notice something when I was looking for my lands. Looks like my red isn't balanced right, so let's have a look. Yes, indeed, it's not balanced right. So, that's not good, is it? Let's bring this one down, let's bring this one up. Yep. Let's try that and see how it goes. So this is going to be the last game, and then I'm going to pack up for tonight. Let's see what it does, and then we climbed a few steps today. So next time we can do it again. I've got my 3 colors. I have some. Yeah, let's keep this. So let's say hello. First one we can just put in tapped. I don't really care. Extra mana is welcome right now. That's a little more irritating. Well, let's an eye for an eye, I would say. There we go. Let's just hit him for 1 and the turn. Yep, I can have that. And you sacrifice a planeswalker. Then we're both happy. Isn't that true? And then we end the turn. Yeah. Nah, I don't think so, my friend. Yeah, let's get rid of that. It might be a mistake, but we'll see. He has a lot of mana now, so Gold Vein Hydra. That's a nice card. Resolve. There's not much we can do about that one. At least not yet. My turn. It's a risk because there are cards in the game that makes him fight it, and then yeah, let's play that one. Destroy all artifacts. Yeah, I was expecting something like that. Okay. Let's see what else he comes up with. Best we can do is just get rid of that one. Let's activate that one, get rid of this one. Let's get a second black, and let's see what happens. It's going to hit me pretty hard now for 5. I don't know what we're going to draw into, but let's see what happens. Oh, please says that's a pain. Yeah, that's game. I'm just going to let him win this. At least I can take out my Virtue of Persistence. So even if I put her down, even if I put that enchantment down, it doesn't really matter. He's just going to destroy it. And as for this one, it would have cost me 3 permanents, as I would have dealt damage to Phyrexian Obliterator. So yeah, that's pretty much game. There we go. Best I can do is just this, and then it's his turn again. Nothing we can do here. Didn't have enough removal in the early game, and then didn't really get any good cards to deal with the board state along the way. So yeah, it happens, but you know what? We learn from it, and we can work on the decks. The deck I have, the deck I'm thinking about building has some interaction here. I only need 1 rare if I want to max out Annie Joins Up. I don't know if I'm going to build around it yet. I'm not really sure, but I do see some interactions here. Whenever he enters the battlefield, I can put a counter on something. If I bring him back being an enchantment, he's not an aura, so I could bring him back with Awakening. Even if I only pay 1 extra for 5 mana, I would bring him back from the graveyard. He would be a 2/2, and he would gain flying, which is interesting. Actually, he would be a 3/3 with flying, which would be really interesting because flying would mean a better chance of him actually using his secondary ability. Annie Joins Up would be at least a 1/1, but she would deal 5 damage whenever it comes into play, and all triggered abilities of legendary creatures you control would trigger an extra time. So Calix, with her on the field, would trigger an extra time. So that could be interesting if I have enough enchantments in the deck. This is a card that I've been seeing a few times, and I'm really curious to see what I can do with him. So far I've been trying to avoid blue, but I might actually consider putting in some blue here instead of red and green, but I'm not really sure yet. So right now those are 3 cards that I'm keeping in the back of my mind. That's why I put them in here, but it's not a deck yet. I do see some nice interactions between them, and I think we can find some more. The only question is this going to be strong enough? Because we are talking about 4 mana, 3 mana. This one would at least be 5 mana. It could be a 4 mana card, but still 4/3. That's pretty late in the game. So that would require some kind of acceleration or some kind of control until we get to that point. So I'm gonna have to look into that. I'm not really sure if I can go that direction. There are some other enchantments I want to look at. So let's see what we can come up with next couple of days and weeks. So that's it for me tonight. I don't know when I'll be back with another one. It's not something I'm going to put posting every single day. It's something I do because my wife wants me to post when I'm playing, so I'm doing something useful, she says. So that's what we're going to do. And then we're just going to keep playing every once in a while when I have time for it. So as you can see, we're still at a little over 3,000 gold, so I haven't really gained any gold today. We still only have the rares, but we do have a lot of access to commons and uncommons, and nowadays a lot of commons and uncommons actually also have some serious potential. So I wouldn't underestimate how much we can use them. I might consider just drafting once. I have the token, might give me access to some extra cards, but I think I'm going to do that when the new set comes out. During a draft, even if I just draft whatever I want and forget about the deck, it's still free cards. I got the draft token for nothing, so I could do that, or I could try to win and get some more gems. I don't know. So let's just see. Have a nice day, and see you next time. Bye bye.